The world went dark a few days ago. No more Facebook, no more Twitter, no more Google, no more YouTube. No electricity, no contact with the outside world, no signal on my phone. I have no way of knowing whether this is an isolated incident, just local, or whether this is just it for humanity. I don't know what's going on in the world around me. All I can see is what I can see around me with my eyes, and I don't want me or anybody else I know to venture out there in case something's worse than it sounds. There is no sound that I can hear, no trucks on the highway, no airplane in the sky. The world is silent and the world is dark. I have a few minutes of battery life left on this phone before that's it for all modern convenience. I'm spending this time recording this video in hopes that everything comes back on and this is something we can look back on, or that maybe future generations can find it and find a way to play it, and this will serve them in some way. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So obviously, that was not true. Because, number one hint, you're watching this on YouTube. But it did bring up some interesting thoughts for me, which is if an EMP wipes out all communication, all things with a chip, like my phone, for instance, how would we know whether it's local, national, global, whether it's temporary, or this is just life now? And these are things we've got to think about as preppers, because you got to kind of just try and figure whether this is the big event or whether this is something that's going to heal itself in a day or two. Whether there's somebody out there trying to fix it as you're sitting in the dark pondering these questions. Two primary risks that you run are the risk that you overreact and set into motion a plan that essentially deactivates your average lifestyle and then everything comes back on. Or there's the other side of the spectrum, which is that you don't react, crossing your fingers that everything does come back on and you lose valuable time. So if we're talking about communication, I don't know a correct answer to give you on this one, because maybe you don't consider communication that big of a deal and you're just going to activate your plan regardless of what's going on outside, and that's fine. I think it's a case-by-case situation because I can't speak for you. I can't say what your situation is. I can try and make plans for my own situation for gathering information and gaining communication with the outside world, but I cannot speak for you personally because I don't know what your situation is. So that's kind of going to have to be a thing that you figure out on your own. But for the risk of whether or not the light's going to come back on, or whether this is it forever, and not making decisions that impact you too deeply either way, you should consider that beforehand, what your plan is. If your plan is to run out and start looting to gather everything that you need, and busting in store windows, and taking people hostage, and causing acts of violence, then that's a bad plan. That's a bad plan anyway, but it's particularly a bad plan because of the possibility that you're experiencing a severe power outage or something along those lines, and that they're going to have it back on in a couple of days, and then they're going to come knocking on your door wondering what the hell that was about. So I'd suggest making a plan that works equally either way. And that's something I've been preaching all along. I know I've said this in a lot of my videos, but I'll say it again because it bears repeating. Create a prepper plan that you can activate right now without screwing up the rest of your life, and then live by it. Make sure that you've got everything in place so that if all else fails, you can rely on yourself, and then just become self-reliant. I can't see the downside behind being self-reliant, behind being self-sufficient. You should not spend your life relying on other people to take care of your basic necessities. So long as you are relying on other people to take care of your basic necessities, you are going to find time and time again, regardless of what happens to the world around you, that things don't get done because people cannot be relied upon 100% of the time. And I don't care who we're talking about. Nobody out there can be relied upon 100% of the time. Maybe they just need a sick day. And then you find yourself without. So, be self-sufficient in every way you possibly can. Be self-reliant. And do not put the focus of your plans in the hands of other people, or you will become victim to the whims of other people. Now, as I've mentioned before, I actually live in a rural area that experiences severe blackouts and things like that sometimes. So we know that there is no situation that warrants you just sitting on your hands and wondering if somebody else is fixing it. Either take action to repair it yourself, or take action to bide until it is repaired, and make sure that you've got your ducks in a row for in case it isn't repaired. I've been in a lot of situations in my life where our quick response to the situation is what got us through it comfortably. But had the power not come back on, had modern conveniences not been reestablished, our quick reaction might have been what saved us. Now, being a prepper, that means that I am a worst-case scenario kind of guy. That doesn't mean that I'm pessimistic. I'm actually quite optimistic, and my little catchphrase, my motto is hope for the best, plan for the worst. And that is the way I live my life. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. And I feel like that is the only way to live your life, because the worst is occasionally going to happen. And you need to be ready for when it does, so that it's not that bad. If you make sure that you understand that anytime there's a positive thing going on, a negative thing is right around the corner, and you prepare for that negative thing while still enjoying the positive, you can have a very positive, very happy life by avoiding the hardships of the negative, by being caught off guard and enjoying the positive. And so yeah, I'm a very optimistic prepper, and I view life as a whole as prepping. I see everything as that. Even our little stupid conveniences that we just, whatever, we don't need them. I even plan contingencies for how to take care of things like that when they fail. Because why make yourself go without things because you just assumed all was well, always will be, let it go. Alright, I'm probably preaching to the choir on this one, and I know that a lot of people already think this way and everything like that, but that's just, I thought it was worth thinking about, and I thought it was worth a mention, that things could easily fall apart, but sometimes things look worse than they actually are, and you might not have the ability to see at the time that that was the case. And so we need to be ready to handle our prepper plans in a way that does not completely screw up the rest of our lives. And so, like I said, the little tip I've got for you there is start living your prepper plan now. And when the world falls apart around you, you can just continue on as you were, and maybe not even notice that the world fell apart around you, and just live a comfortable life doing what it was that you planned to survive anyway. And now I think I'll go into the prepper tip of the week. Now, something that's missing in a lot of my videos is some very, very basic survival skills. I find that those videos already exist on YouTube, and I wanted to bring something a little bit different. Having that said, for this week's Prepper Tip of the Week, I just thought I'd send you over to check out the channel of somebody who's already doing a lot of those videos and is doing them in such a great way. he's doing them in such a way that I myself could not do them any better. And so I want to suggest for you guys to go check out the channel McCartney Survival. Now, if you watch me on my other channel, you've heard me mention him a lot. I go and watch his videos quite a bit, and he's got some very just no-nonsense, down-to-earth survival skills that he shows off in his videos. And so I would like it if you guys would go his way. Go check out his channel. I will put it in the description of this one. And that's it. That's all I got for you. That's the prepper tip of the week, is go check out McCartney Survival. If you liked this video, please click that like button. If you disliked it, hit that dislike button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit that little notification button if you want to be up to date on what's going on Darksteel Unmasked. Thank you so much for watching. I think that's just about it.